Hello, everyone. Welcome to Concept to Learning. Hope you're doing well and safe. Uh, you know, uh, Today we're going to learn some interesting concept, and without much delay, let's get started. All right. If you have noticed, in our day-to-day life, we are either the consumers of the products and services or the providers of products and services. To understand this better, let's say you decide to purchase a phone online, right, through Amazon, Amazon.com, and the few things that comes to your mind is quickly, what is my budget? It should be at a low price, and the second thing that you expect is the speed of the phone is faster, the RAM or the processor faster. The third thing that comes to your mind is how easy is it to handle? Is it is it heavy? Is it easy to hold? In the hand? Is it comfortable enough? Does it have a grip? You also look for latest specifications, right, in terms of the camera, the lens of the camera, the storage capacity, right, and the display screen, the video quality, the audio quality, and so on and so forth. And the last but not the least thing is the good quality of the product itself. If you compare it with, let's say, iPhone and any other phone, the quality, the finish line of an iPhone is far more better. The touch is far more better. The feel good of the phone is far more better than any of the phone. So you would expect these some of the qualifiers for you to buy some of the goods online. Let's say, on the other hand, you are looking for to get your mobile serviced, and you expect certain things from the service that you are expecting or that you are offering. So it has to be low cost. It has to be a faster fix. And it has to be, you need to get the response faster from the customer service. The customer service representative has to be fairly knowledgeable about the product, right? And again, the good service that comes to your comes to your mind. And these are some of the expectations that you build as a consumer or as a provider of the services, right? Now, basically, this is nothing but your voice of customer. You're raising your voice that you want these information, you want these details in a product or a service, right? Now, as a consumer, these are your wants, and this is what we call it as VOC. And this becomes a base for a business to start providing either a product or a services, right? So whenever you're designing a product or you are a provider of a service, you always start with the customer. Um, I had uh, um, spoken about always starting from a customer in my first video, which is SciPoc. I will provide the link to that video in the description. Please do have a look at it. The importance of starting from a customer. So even here, if you're designing a product or a service, you start with customer and then work towards the needs of the customer, right? Now, let us understand how the voice of customer, impacts a consumer and a consumer provider. Uh, I've taken an example here. Let's say we order food online. Um, um, let's say I go through the application, I open the food delivery app, and then the food arrives at my doorstep. Now, after I have after the food is delivered to me, I also get a survey, and let's say I get to choose either to like the food or to dislike the food or the services. Now, let's say I didn't enjoy the food as much as I wanted to. There could be a couple of reasons here. That can be that the order is delayed, packaging issue, poor food quality, and payment issue. Now, what is that? I disliked about the entire process ordering food online. Now, let's say the similar kind of feedback is provided by hundred of customers. Now we've looked from a consumer point of view so far. Now we are going to look at from a consumer provider. Now he's also interested to know what is happening with the customers, how the trend looks like, and so on and so forth, to improve the service that the service provider is offering to the customers. Now he assigns, let's say, a business analyst or a quality analyst for that matter, um, and he gives this 100 customer survey data to him. Now he finds out that through the initial analysis that 66 customers said that the order was delayed. Now this becomes a concerning point of view. Now, what the business owner says, or the one who's providing this service says, can we deep dive into further more details? Now the business analyst or the quality analyst drills down to the order delayed section of the employees to see what the feedback that they have provided. And let's say hypothetically, he comes up with these as the segregation, right? 50 customers said we wanted the delivery within 15 to 30 minutes. 10 customers says 30 to 45 minutes. Three customers said 45 to 60 minutes, and greater than 60 minutes, three customers said. Now, if you look at here, majority of the section lies with most of the customer who dislike the services said that they would expect a delivery within 15 to 30 minutes. Let's say even here we wanted the food to be delivered because I was very very hungry, or rather Tofu was very very hungry, and he wanted, and he provided everything that the order was delayed. He has rated uh, a dislike and selected the option ordered. And now this becomes the base for a business, right? So what if you see here, there is a transformation that is happening, right? So you are gathering information from the customer and massaging that data to identify what majority of the customer likes, and see if you can drill down to that level where you are actually changing, acting upon the voice of the customer through metric. Now, here, through the analysis, we got to know that almost more than 70% of the customers said we want food to be delivered within 15 to 30 minutes. Now, this becomes the specification limit for the business owner, that if they have to survive in the business, they need to ensure that they hear to this voice of the customer and improve the service. They'll have to work with the delivery partners, they'll have to work with the restaurants to see how they can fit in 15 to 30 minutes of the window to deliver the package. Now, this is what we call it as CTQ, which is nothing but your critical to quality. If you don't provide this, you would be under stake of losing the business. Now, from where did I arrive this? I got to know this from the voice of the customer. Now, there is a data that is taken from the customer, and then you arrive at what is the service, right? In terms of a measurable service or a metric that you can provide back to the customer in order to sustain in the business. This is also called as voice of business or the voice of customers. You can call it as critical to quality or critical to business, right? This is only one way of providing the information. If you have gone online on Amazon.com, you select certain option, um, and you like certain options, you go to certain pages. All this data is captured by the business at the back end. Even if you are not providing the feedback, there is a pattern or a behavior of the consumer that is noticed to ensure that they are catering to the needs of the customer. If you don't like certain product, if you stay on a page for a certain limit, if you have ordered something online and you kind of you're not happy with the checkout option, so at every stage there is some data that is captured by the business, right, through machine, and through data massaging and machine learning, it the machine learning algorithm throws up different types of suggestions that you can offer to the customer in order to make business, in order to make them hooked with that particular application, place an order successfully, and make make business. So that's how this is happening at the back end. Initially, it was very easy, right? When we didn't have a digital data, we didn't have cloud, platforms providing the data services and stuff. Initially, it was on a paper where you were supposed to provide the feedback, and it was a tedious task, time-taking task to actually do a proper survey analysis. Now with this machine learning tools, with the algorithms, it's much more easy to understand what the trends look like and how we can drive certain patterns through the way the consumer looks at certain products or quality. So this is an in-depth learning in itself. I hope you've got some understanding about what the voice of customer, how the voice of customer is raised, how a business takes that voice of customer and converts that to measurable metric, in order to sustain in the business. Now, if you want to define what a voice of customer is in a simplest form, voice of customer is actual description of the customers in words for the functions, features customers desire for a goods and services. If you look at here, these are the description of in the words. For example, I want this information. Then, as a business, you are converting those needs into features and functions, right? That can be anything for products or services in actual words. So the customer provides the voice or description as to what is required. The business takes that information and converts them into functions or features, that could be something which a customer desires from a product or a services. If you look at what is voice of business, you just have to replace customer with business, and the definition will hold the same. um, Low price, high speed, easy to handle, latest specifications, good quality. If you've noticed one thing here, there's nothing that is mentioned as a number. You can't quantify something. This is their needs. So they don't give a number to this. They just say, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this, right? Now, what's the role of a business is to take that out and convert that to what is critical to the quality. For example, if you have to describe this whole process of critical to quality, then you have to say an attribute of a part, assembly, sub-assembly, product, or process that is literally critical to quality, or more precisely, has a direct and significant impact on its actual perceived quality. If you see here, what we discussed is if I don't have these specifications, right? If I don't have, if I don't have the attributes, right? If I don't go back and understand what customer wants, which is critical, I would not be able to sustain in the business for a long run. I'll have to, consider what the customers are saying and convert that into a measurable metric, which you can provide in your product or services. This can also be critical to business. It's similarly, you just have to, the same definition holds good. Some of the things that comes to my mind is my quality of food, or the accuracy of the product should be 95 to 100%. So that means that's the range that I will operate to sustain in the business, between 95 to 100. And that's what you're saying as a critical to business. If you have to say, I need to deliver food within 15 minutes to 45 minutes, right? If I don't stay within this specification, this lower and upper specification, I'm not going to sustain for a long time. So that becomes your critical to quality. Third, let's say product cost. I need to make my product cost between $100 to $500 as an example. And this is what most of the customer wants. And let's say I'm into selling goods online. I can't afford to have less, greater than 5% returns, right? I need to ensure that the returns are lower. That's from a business point of view. And let's say, as a consumer, you want to order something online, maybe a shirt or a t-shirt or a phone within 3 or 4 3 to 5 steps, not more than that. So I select, I select the size, and then I select at the address. I make the payment. That's it. I don't need to have too many clicks to place an order. Now, these are if you specific here in your crit voice of customer, you didn't have specifics. In your critical to quality or critical to business, you have specifics, you have limits in which you are going to operate to ensure that you are able to, uh, you know, provide the service or the product which customers are looking for. That's how the journey of voice of customer to the critical to quality or critical to business looks like. Um, Hope you fell in love with the concept as usual, right? And there's a lot of things that you can learn. Start looking at what data you're providing, what data you're receiving as a business, and how do you make a meaningful insight into it. So look at customers, take data, make survey, have focus groups, get their get their feedback, and then convert that feedback into a measurable metric. And that's what will help you tackle the right need of a customer and help the customer in terms of using your products or services continuously. And this is a continuous effort, and this has to be carried out on ongoing basis, right? And thank you so much for watching the video. We will see you again with a new concept in a new video. And until then, take care. Happy learning and happy applying. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and put your comments, right? Put your CTQs, voice of customers on the comments. I will definitely get back to you, with some suggestions and feedbacks. And hope you have a nice day and a nice week ahead. And until we meet again, take care.